Mitch from pickdogs.com and sportschatplace.com. We got Steve Monahan and the Puck Dogs with us today. Got the new Pick Dog shirt on, our March Madness giveaway that never happened. But we'll have a great giveaway coming up. We got the new premium area. Actually, probably going to have it up and live today or Monday up on the site just to get it up and running and kind of, work on it lot in a live environment. We've had it up in the test environment for a while, but just working. It's like every time we think we have it 100% done, it's not done. Just kind of the way that life happens, and so we're just the issue that we had was the coupon codes. The way that the coupon codes were being applied, you could only apply it to one item at a time, not the entire cart. It's like, I don't think so. And not that I plan on doing a ton of couponing. It's not Kohl's, but it's just the way it is. But these are the new Pick Dog shirts. Got hundreds of them. So,
like them, big fan.
Yeah, I'll be sending them out to these guys, and still waiting on some of the shipping stuff on it. So the guys that have like annual memberships and things like that can at least get them their shirts. But it's another day without sports. Really no news at all about sports, but I think what we're seeing is talk of everything else starting to how we're going to start to move forward. And that's kind of the good stuff. So other than that, working on the studio still. The holidays over the last week. The camera industry pretty much controlled by the Hasidic Jews. So with Passover going on this week, it's been no shipping of any of my equipment, but it's all going out today. I got all kinds of stuff, and they upgraded it to 2-day air. So, should have everything ready by the middle of next week, or at least on my way to being set up. Still working on, how I'm going to decorate the studio and stuff and, the set. And like I said, it's probably going to be one of those things that changes. I've been showing some of the stuff that I'm going to put on the set. So here's a couple more items that I found. One is my signed Ric Flair picture.
Woo!
To Mitch.
What's that circa?
Not too long ago. This was maybe 5 years ago. I got this. I met Rick. Vegas.
Cool.
And then one for the Puck Dogs, my Claude Lemieux turtle picture. It's the famous Claude Lemieux turtle.
That's a good one.
Yep.
He liked the turtle. He liked to give it out, and then he liked the turtle.
Oh. Yeah. Big time turtler, Claude Lemieux. But I've had this for a while.
Agitator would be my word.
Yeah.
But he could score. He was a good player. I mean, I got to see him with the Devils, and he contributed to, a couple Stanley Cups.
The best part is even the goalie wants a piece of him. Like everybody wants a piece of him. See him? He's like skating in.
Yeah.
He's like just hoping
he was definitely hated by a lot of people.
My standard bearer was Ulf Samuelsson when he was on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Probably one of the most despised players by every other team. And our buddy Fitzy from BU, Mitch, right? Big hockey guy, Bruin fan. But Ulf Samuelsson came to the Rangers, and it's funny how one of those guys, when he comes on your team, you forget about everything for, as many games as he plays, But Ulf Samuelsson to me was Claude Lemieux, Ken Linsman, just Todd Marchand right now is one of the biggest agitators out there too. So I just wanted to make that point.
Kind of feeling it with my Pick Dog shirt here. Kind of little bit of a mix from the Sports Chat. Actually, I cut my Sports Chat shirt up to make a kind of like a sign to hang up in the studio for I want to have it on the. I have like this brick wall, and I'm going to put it like on the brick wall with. I have a shelf to put like all sorts of stuff on, and it's kind of. I don't know. Studio design is something that I guess you could really get carried away with. But if you see that, like a lot of the guys on TV are live streaming, and so Nagy, the scout on ESPN, the guy's been on a ton these past few weeks. I like setting up my live streaming studio. I can see exactly like how he has set up his setup for the house because he's probably not used to doing it from there. But you could clearly see where he had a bookcase, and then like he brought in like another bookcase, just like a random bookcase he had around the house. Because one is like a wood bookcase, and it's right next to like this metal bookcase thing, and he's got like all these like signed footballs and helmets and stuff. That's all he has on this metal bookcase. It's kind of like, well, we have a blank wall here. You got anything? He's like, well, I got this. Just use it, you know. And they just moved it over and kind of do it. And you could see all these other people, like on all these other shows where they're live streaming from their house, where they have these like different places and like, you know, they're strategically picking. So not too many people just have a gray wall behind them, you know. So we're gonna avoid get away from that stuff. But if you see Chris's camera, like here's some of the other things that we're working on. If you see Chris's camera, though, here if you see Chris's camera, you can see that his background is blurred. You see, and that brings him more into focus. We get to see the beauty of, you know, Mr. October. In our Men of Pick Dogs calendar.
No, I said I was July. I called July a long time ago.
All right, well, 4th of July.
I want the fire truck. I want the fire truck behind me.
Well, it's you'd have 4th of July and Canada Day all wrapped into one. It'd be a party waiting to happen. But good morning to everyone that's joining us. And it's Friday, man. Normally Aloha Fridays, but you know, it is what it is. I believe we're gonna have sports soon. I can smell it. You know, I can just tell by the way that they're talking about different things. We were talking about the PGA Tour, the one that's announced that you know, that at least they're saying they're going to do something. So Steve was saying that there's only going to be one major this year, the PGA, because the other majors count towards next year. So my question is there going to be 2 Masters then in next year's schedule and 2 U.S. Opens?
Yeah, right. It's a valid question.
I'm gonna guess. All right, and I'm you know I don't, you know, I've never played Augusta, but I'm gonna guess that in the fall it's going to be a nasty beast, like impossible. Augusta's tough to begin with, and Augusta's one of those courses that it looks like when you watch it on TV, you can't really see the elevations, you know, of the course. It's like Kapalua here. And it's where it's like you can't see the elevations, but when you're on the course, it's like, you know, because so Dustin Johnson he drove the green here on a hole that was 365 yards, right? But you can't see the changes in elevation, you know, when he hit that ball, which I'll tell you, I wasn't even close. I think it was actually like 400 or something that the green was that he hit. And I'll tell you, I wasn't even, not even a whiff, and I wasn't playing from the pro tees either. And I hit one on the screws there. And,
hey, Chris and Rod, have you guys ever been to like a major golf tournament, you know, outside of Canada in the U.S., like a U.S. Open or a PGA, or it's unbelievable.
I've never set foot on any soil in the USA. How's that?
No, but my point, the reason to Mitch's point, Shinnecock Hills in 2004, which is in Long Island, it was the U.S. Open, and Retief Goosen won this. To Mitch's point, when you're there live and you see these elevated greens and you see the raw, it's unbelievable. It really is. It's incredible.
I played at Kapalua. Right before the lockdown.
U.S. Opens is my point. And there's a reason. It's unbelievable live watching this stuff.
Right before the lockdown, I played at Kapalua, and I mean, it was brutal. I'm gonna put you guys on for a second. I'll be back. I'm gonna see if I can find the picture that I show of. But you guys can talk about that for a second. If I get on my phone.
So Shinnecock Hills, I mentioned Long Island. I also was at, I've been to several majors. Phil Mickelson won at Baltusrol, which is in New Jersey.
I played Baltusrol.
That's another one. It's incredible. And I've been to Winged Foot. I was actually there for the Davis Love Rainbow in 1998 when he won at Winged Foot.
Yeah.
That's another one. It's just incredible how these guys, navigate these courses.
So I've played Baltusrol, and I've played another Tillinghast course, Bethpage, all the Bethpage courses. So three of the Bethpage courses are Tillinghast courses, and I used to play Bethpage every weekend when I lived in New York in the summer months. And the red, the black, and the blue courses are all Tillinghast courses at Bethpage, and he's the same guy that designed Baltusrol. So the red course is very similar to Baltusrol, where it's just super long. It's like every shot is like just the second shot. Every one is a big club. There's no like driver pitching wedge there. Everything's like driver 3-wood, driver 4-iron, like every single hole. And the black course, when I used to play it, was before they played, golf tournaments. Like they used to play golf tournaments on it a long time ago. Then they decided that, they tried to get scoring to get more interest in the PGA Tour. They tried to get it so scoring was better. So they stopped playing tournaments on the black course because it was so hard. And then, so they let the rough really grow at the black when I used to play there. But, just... It's so much more difficult. The greens are also tiny on that black course. They're not like as difficult. They're not like Augusta greens or even like the greens at Kapalua or anything. But they are just tiny. I mean, it's like it's not like a modern golf course. But at Baltusrol and the red course at Bethpage, certainly.
Challenging to say the least.
Yeah. Looking for my Kapalua picture where you can see just how steep it is.
That's an every year, right? The PGA comes to not the I'm saying the tour. Is that where they typically play, or they mix it up around?
No, they play they play at Kapalua. It's the Tournament of Champions that they have.
Like January, right, or something?
Yeah, it's all the champions from the previous year. So here's the first hole at Kapalua. And you can see it's just like an extreme downhill. And it's like you can see, so you're way up top there. You can see how low the ocean is down there. And the wind is blowing off the ocean like crazy. And then here is me. You can see the fairway just in the corner, like in the lower corner where my finger is right there. You can see the fairway down there. I'm walking up to the green. It's way down there. I mean, that's a blind shot. And right behind me that's Honolulu Bay. And if you don't think that's whipping there, you can see a surfer right there in the surf, and he's in a barrel. So I mean, that's what kind of winds you have and what kind of conditions, are at Kapalua. It's just very, very hard to explain. But anyways, back to our subject, and you can see the rest of the course, how it goes around the bay to the backside over here. It is beautiful, obviously, but. And of course, I make the picture all that much better. But it's just absolutely brutal. Like here's the rough, Kapalua. Nothing fun about it.
Good luck.
Good luck. It's really what it is. Par 73, and it plays every bit of it. I shot like high 80s there, and I felt like I had won something. You know, it's like, I mean, and it was, I was exhausted. I was physically exhausted. Couldn't stop for lunch on the way home. I was so tired.
How many times have you played Kapalua?
I've only played it once. I only started playing golf again last March and Kapalua, or last May, and Kapalua was closed all of last year. They redid the course to make it longer and tougher somehow. So they closed it for an entire year and they just reopened it in January for the tournament. So this was really the first, and then the first month after that, they didn't allow carts on the fairways, so it was super slow. You know, which I don't care, but it makes for play really, really slow, especially on a hard course like that, and 30-mile-an-hour crosswinds. So I waited. So basically, that was the first week that you were allowed to do it, and then as soon as they had the shutdown and lockdown, they closed the course again. You know, so it's been lightly played, but I have a feeling when they open up the courses again here, we're going to have it wide open because, most of the courses here are built for tourists. So, we put, and not to say anything about, the tourists or whatever, because obviously we depend on them, for our economy here, but tourists pay $369 for Kapalua, and we pay about $149. And for Wailea Gold, another one of my favorite courses, the one right down the street for me. On that course, the tourists pay $225, and we pay. So like here's. I've never had a hole-in-one, but this is the hole that I always say that I want to have my hole-in-one in. This is number 9 at, or number 8, or 7. It might be 7 at Wailea Gold. And it's just beautiful hole. And it's like, that. So the thing is, I've hit some of my best tee shots I've ever hit. I've hit the pin there before, and I've rolled over the hole. And here was my shot when I took that picture, because I took the picture and I posted on Facebook. Those of you that are my Facebook friends, I posted, I've never had a hole-in-one, but if I was ever going to get one, this is the hole that I wanted on. And then here's the shot that I hit. I just missed it. I was like, it's like kicking birdie. It was reasonable.
Well, I don't like to brag, Mitch, but I have a hole-in-one.
Yeah, well, it just shows you that there's,
Listen, you would crush me in golf, and the funny part about it is I was playing with a guy named Tim, who's a great golfer, and it's Paramus, New Jersey, public course, 2006, par 3, and I hit this tee shot. I think it was 140, something like that, and 2 bounces, and the thing goes into the hole, right? So obviously the thrill of that, but the reaction of my buddy Tim, who was played 8,000 rounds of golf, is great and never had a hole-in-one. He threw his club up. He goes, "You got to be kidding me."
My friend Chris, that I did a live, the halftime of actually the Cowboys-Eagles game. I was watching it on the iPad at the golf course while I was playing, and I was doing the live show at halftime, and we were on a par 3, and he hit the stick. And he has 8 hole-in-ones. Of all the guys I play with, he has the most. He has 8, and he's hit the stick when I've played with him at least a dozen more times than that. He's just one of those guys that's just super, super accurate. But if you go back to that, Ben Hogan never had a hole-in-one, and he's the best ball striker of all time. Right. And they asked him, like, how come you've never had a hole-in-one? He's like, I've never really aimed for the flagstick. I'm always thinking about the putt.
Yeah. What was cool about it too, so obviously the 19th hole, you got to buy beers and stuff, the word spreads out there was a hole-in-one. But some guy said, he goes, "What ball did you use?" I said, "Titleist." He goes, "On Monday, call Titleist." And I did. I said, "I got a hole-in-one." So Titleist sent like a ball holder, right? Pretty cool. So I got the ball in this little ball holder, and my club was a Tommy Armour, right? So called Tommy Armour, and they sent like a certificate, a frame certificate to acknowledge it. I thought it was pretty cool. Good memento.
That is nice. That here at Wailea, they give you a flag and it says I don't whatever hole in one, and they put the date on it and the hole
And the
number, and then
Yep.
you go out there, you take a
Mark.
picture with your flag on the hole, and then they post it on the Facebook page and stuff. But I haven't got.
It's thrill.
I
It
haven't.
really is. For that split second or 2 seconds or 5 seconds, whatever it is, when that ball goes in, you're like, oh my God, it was thrilling.
They didn't do anything for me at the mini golf course.
Right? Not a pitch and putt.
I've been so close.
Really?
I've been so close to the hole in one. But I
Close. It was rolling. It was rolling towards it. You
never
can see
got
it, and you're watching, and you're like, go, go, go! Ah,
So
right there.
this is a good topic since we really don't have a sports topic. But what do you think are the best near misses in sports? So like it was like and there's some obvious ones. Like when Gordon Hayward had the shot against Duke, like right at the buzzer, like when Butler had the shot to upset Duke, and it was kind of just he just winged it, and it it hit the back inside of the basket in the rim, so he just missed it. And Scott Norwood, just missed it, and Jerry Thomas at Florida State, my favorite one, right?
Yep. Yep.
And there's been Michael Jordan. As many game-winning shots as he hit, he missed more.
Okay.
And he'll tell you that. And that's why the famous Michael Jordan is you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
So I remember a Blackhawks Canucks playoff game in a Game 7, and the Blackhawks lost that series, and the guy hit the crossbar in like double overtime, and it bounced out. Rod, what's a famous just missed it bet for you? I know in the NHL there's
NFL.
millions.
NFL, that last play of the game, Tennessee, and is rolling over, and what was it? That was inches, man.
That was
going
Super
over
Bowl.
that goal line.
Was Kevin
Dyson?
What was his name?
Dyson?
No,
No.
Oh,
Mason. Derek Mason.
Mason.
Derek
Yeah,
Mason.
Mason.
That was a just miss. Chris, what
That
about
was a
just missed?
Yeah. That's a good one.
Can I do this? Was it Cody Parkey when he hit four posts in one game?
Yikes.
That was just one of the funnier ones for me, anyway.
Oh God.
Seen a
I
million.
gotta say Scott Norwood. I mean, you hit it, Mitch. I think that Super Bowl game-winning kick, or not, and Giants are Super Bowl champs, and Bill Parcells cements his legacy, 2-time Super Bowl champ, right? Scott Norwide, as he's known, right? But I gotta say that's got to be up there, right? Super Bowl
For us,
kick.
for me, it's always going to be Jerry Thomas. Wide right one.
Yeah.
That was
But that's the point. Wide right one. Right.
I'll tell you, Jerry Thomas.
That was a stretch of Florida State, Miami, right, where it came down to that field goal, man.
Oh, I know. I was, and
Bobby Patton's reaction on the sideline was priceless.
It's priceless. He thought he made it. He thought he had made the field goal.
Yeah.
Definitely a just miss, and it's funny because I talked about it the other day, and my friends from Miami are still posting, still saying that the same things I was saying is like, I'll never get over that Fiesta Bowl loss. I'll never ever. It's like you put it in the past, and we had a million other chances and whatever, but it's like I just never ever get over it. It was like it ended the winning streak. It ended. It's just horrible, and that to me was the worst just miss. It's like that. The thing is, the ref that threw the flag never officiated another game again. It made it even worse, and it was like,
What about Catholics versus convicts? Cleveland Gary, in or out?
It doesn't matter. It was.
I know it does.
It was.
But it was pretty damn close.
Well, no. I don't think the issue was in or out. I think the issue is he was down, before the fumble happened. And the thing is that the ref thought it was 4th and goal when it was actually 4th and inches, and he had gotten the first down, and he turned the ball over to Notre Dame, not because he thought it was a fumble at all, but because he thought it was a turnover on downs. If there was replay, Miami wins the national championship that year. That's how big that play was. But in hindsight, once again, another one of those in hindsight things is they drove the ball then all the way down the field on us and scored a touchdown. And on the other side of it, we had a crack at them also for the 2-point conversion, and we didn't get it. So it went both ways in that one. And it was like, I thought that Miami was the far better team. And I think if Notre Dame, if there was ever a year that there should have been a rematch, that was it. And Notre Dame was like, no way. They wanted no part of it. Buchholz was definitely pretty much a pussy shit when it came to stuff like that. That if he had an out, he took it 100% of the time. It was like,
because he knew it. He knew he was going to get slaughtered.
Yeah, I mean, he talks like a big guy in the Catholics versus convicts thing. Like he was, save Jimmy Johnson's ass for me. Yeah, but when it came time to play for keeps, he fucking went and played West Virginia, Major Harris, right? And
And you knew the result going into that game. Major Harris, West Virginia, Notre Dame, forget about it. That was like, if we had pick dogs in Sports Chat Place and everything, trust me, we'd be all in on Notre Dame in that game.
Absolutely.
Killing it.
But, the ball also doesn't go Notre Dame's way sometimes, too. And, we've seen, the Rocket Ismail game against Colorado in the Orange Bowl, or kind of went against Notre Dame.
Here's another one. Actually, I was talking to a friend of mine's son yesterday. He's a Penn State guy. He just graduated, and actually just went to Miami Law School. He's going to, graduate law school in 10 days or something, whatever. But he brought up the fact of Penn State. So I'm sure Mitch remembers the Sugar Bowl, Penn State, Alabama. Chuck Vicina's the quarterback of Penn State. They're at the goal line, and they just couldn't get in, man. Right? Remember that?
Yeah.
They tried to take over like 2 or 3 times, and Alabama stuffed them. And so that's a pretty close but no cigar one, too. I mean, for guys our age,
Yeah, there's
Major Ogilvie was the running back for Alabama. I think Jeff Rutledge was the quarterback for Alabama at the time.
And the other way around, it was that Herschel got in against Penn State in a similar situation to give Georgia the national championship.
That's right. That's right.
Hockey, another near miss. Dallas, Patrick Stephon, he's going towards the empty net. Wide open empty net. All you got to do is toss the puck in the empty net. Puck jumps over his stick, goes in the corner. The Oilers players pick it up. Goes all the way to the other end. Alex Hempsey scores. Ties it up. Game goes to overtime. I think Oilers won in overtime.
On that one.
I
That was what I was going to say next, is that Patrick Stephon just decides, I'm going to forget how to skate. Is going to put the puck in the empty net, and they take it right back with 5 seconds left and score.
The thing is that you see it sometimes, You see it where the guys just forget everything they ever knew, like these professional athletes, and all of a sudden it's like, this crazy thing happens.
Well, as a fan, you're watching and you're going, this game's over. This game is so over. He's putting it in the empty net. No chance he's not missing that. And then all of a sudden he goes in the corner and you're like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Get it, go.
I've seen the missed extra points,
Rod Carney in the Jags and Saints game when they tied the game on that last second. It was like a Hail Mary or something close to it, like a hook and ladder or something like that. And then the Saints kicker misses the extra point, and they lose the game instead of forcing overtime.
Yeah.
You got Steve Smith, playoff game for the Oilers. He near miss. I guess it's kind of a near miss. He went to pass the puck, and it went right off the back of Grant Fuhr and into the net, and that turned out to be the game-winning goal.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was the game-winning goal. Cost them the series.
Well, yeah, that's a good one, too.
Oopsie.
Oopsie.
Definitely been a lot of those where it's like, It just looked like, I mean, when Norwood was lined up for that field goal, there was no doubt he was going to hit it. There was no
Oh
doubt.
God. What
That
was
was the
that?
difference in the Grey Cup or in the Grey Cup up here in the CFL. It was Montreal and Saskatchewan, and they were lined up to kick the field goal, and penalty flag, 13th man on the field. He missed the field goal, but he gets to retry, and then he kicked the field goal. Won the Grey Cup.
I'll tell
Oopsie.
you, the Yankees series against the Red Sox where they had him down 3-0, the Kurt Schilling bloody sock year. I believe
Right.
that was let it get away from
It's funny you mention that. So Mitch and I have a mutual friend, Joe Kavanaugh, who's a friend of ours, and follows the show. So the Yankees are up 3-0, and I'm at my house, and this is back before kind of cell phones were prevalent. He still had the kitchen phone, right? So he had my home number, and his nickname's Punky. So my wife says, Punky's on the phone. And the Yankees go up 3-0, and he conceded defeat. Like, he called me, because of the Yankee Red Sox curse and all that stuff, right? And I said to him, really, I said, well, it's not over till it's over, but it's over, right? And I swear to God, 4 games later, Johnny Damon leads off, in Game 7, and the Red Sox crush the Yankees, and it's the first comeback from a 3-0 deficit, right? So, true story.
Yeah, which leads us to the Red Sox Mets, Game 6, 86. Bruce Hurst was announced as the series MVP on the scoreboard before the ball goes to Buckley's legs.
I was at the game with some Boston U guys. Bobby Crabtree, another good friend of ours. It was a Saturday. We're in Boston. He goes, and Bobby is, well off. Me, Robert Goldsmith, Mitch, we got in the car, drove down from Boston to New York. It was probably the greatest sports event live I ever seen. That's a good point. Bruce Hurst literally was on the scoreboard. Congratulations, Bruce Hurst, World Series MVP.
Patrick Ewing's in 95, his missed layup.
Oh, that's a good
Game 7.
Oh, that's a very good one, actually.
He went running up and he rolled up the rim, and the Pacers won.
You're right. That's a very
would
good
have
one.
tied it up. I remember that one. That's when basketball. That's why I love basketball. Basketball was good. Everybody worked hard. No, and none of this. Oh, I gotta have time off.
Yeah, that was lunch pail stuff back then, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of wins and losses, how did we do yesterday in our sim picks? I had the Bucks. How did they do?
They won outright. They won 40-23. The Packers beat the Lions 38-17.
Yeah.
Atlanta won outright, money line. And the Raiders covered.
The Raiders?
Thanks.
Yeah, they beat the Raiders. 49ers won outright. They covered the -7.5. 49ers covered that.
All right. So I went 2-2. Penny did. What do we have on tap today?
Hold them up.
I can't wait till the sim games are over. I gotta tell you, man. I can't wait to get back to regulars. This stuff sucks.
At 12 o'clock, you want to talk about sucks? 12 o'clock, Jaguars at Jets. Jaguars -1.5.
I'm gonna guess the sim game is gonna be better than the real game.
Right.
Okay. I like the under here. Jags at Jets. Jaguars -1.5. Over under 49.5.
I got the Jags.
Yeah, you gotta take the Jag. I'm gonna take the Jags in the over, not the under. I'm gonna take the over here. As long as we get some scoring. Does it say it's raining? Let's see.
Nope.
Any raining games? Nope, no raining games.
3 o'clock, Steelers at Bengals. Steelers -7. Over under 49.5.
Steelers.
Yeah, I like the Steelers as well.
Steelers for me.
Steel, man.
7 Eastern, Saints at Colts. Saints -6.5, over under 57.5.
Colts for me.
Like,
I think Colts outright. Colts money line.
Colts.
and the last one, 49ers at Rams to pick them, over under 55.5.
49ers money line.
49ers money line, so.
What is it? 49ers at Rams?
Yeah.
Rams are on the back-to-back, right? Or 49ers are on the back.
So we're the 49ers. 49ers on the back.
It's against your boy Jared Goff.
I got 49ers for me. All right. So,
I was happy to see that the Cleveland Browns went back to kind of their traditional uniform.
did they change away from it? This is another one. Like the Falcons, the Browns,
Man,
the Colts. I mean,
the Bucs.
what exactly in the Bucks? What exactly have these teams changed? I mean,
Not much. That's
the Browns look exactly the same. It looks exactly the same. It's like, I mean, and the Bucks. Chris, what was it again? The lettering. What was
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the numbers
the numbers.
went back to like the more traditional, just like block numbering. And
I'm telling you, I watch a ton of football. I can't tell you the difference. I can't even.
Oh, I can. I mean, do you remember the Pittsburgh Steelers had block numbers, right? And then all of a sudden, Roethlisberger, I think, became the quarterback, and all of a sudden, the next season, and it's still their current number scheme, drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. I'm a traditionalist. I but I get the marketing, the sales, and jerseys. I get all that. But I'm traditional, and not a lot of people picked up on the fact that the Steelers used to have the block numbering. You look at Terry Bradshaw, Lambert, and Ham, and all that. Joe Green. You look at the numbers, and then you see they're narrower and all that. Drives me crazy.
Well, we got a lot of time on our hands. A lot of time.
That's right. It's the only reason I'm bringing it up.
A lot of time.
NBA. Who has the most missed shots? Trivia
NBA.
question.
Who has
Who's the lead? Yeah, who's the leader with the most missed shots
In history,
all time?
all
Wow.
time?
who played the longest? Reggie
Ooh.
Theus.
Reggie Theus.
He's up there. Gotta be.
He's got. Good.
Reggie Theus took the.
Could it be Kareem?
that's what I was gonna say.
Nope,
Maybe
newer.
Bobby. Oh,
Who
Newer
was it?
player than Kareem.
Newer player than Kareem? Most missed shots. That's a good one.
Tim Duncan.
No, he plays in the Lakers. Well, he doesn't play in the Lakers anymore, but
Kobe.
he did.
Kobe.
Yeah,
Kobe.
Kobe
Really?
Bryant, most missed shots.
I believe it. He took a lot of shots too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
All
the
time, huh? He's got the
all-time leader in missed shots.
Wow. Ball hog.
All right. Well, let's wrap
Are we
up
doing a
today's
cereal
show.
discussion or no?
What's that?
We're going to do our cereal discussion?
We could save that for another day. We got plenty of time.
Reproduction meeting? Okay.
all right.
Oh, we'll put that one on the shelf. Anyways,
Yeah,
thanks
that's
everyone for joining us.
Yeah.
We'll be back tomorrow, same time. Have a great day.